I would like to begin the press conference by His Excellency Mr. Taro Kono, Minister for Foreign Affairs of Japan. First, I would like to invite Minister Kono to make an opening statement. Minister Kono.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Taro Kono. I succeeded my predecessor, Mr. Fumio Kishida. He had served as a foreign minister for 4 years and 8 months. And this is my day 5. So please allow me to be a little bit nervous. Over the past 2 days, I had a number of interactions with my fellow foreign ministers. The first and the biggest impression is that Japan and ASEAN are so close. And Japan's cooperation with ASEAN, which started more than 4 decades ago, is really appreciated by all ASEAN member states. I'm very happy to realize that. In the Japan-ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting held yesterday, the 2 sides decided to launch negotiations for Japan-ASEAN Technical Cooperation Agreement. If concluded, the agreement would bolster Japan's assistance for the ASEAN communities by enabling Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, to provide support for the communities. On the regional issues, I was able to have a candid exchange of views on a number of issues, including security challenges, in particular, North Korea and South China Sea issues. In the series of multilateral meetings such as the EAS and ARF. Regarding North Korea, I underscore the need to strictly and fully implement United Nations Security Council resolutions, including the very recent one, and to further exert pressure on Pyongyang. Many participating countries were on the same page with Japan. In addition, I called on all ministers to send out a strong message on the humanitarian concerns, including the abductions issue. With regard to the South China Sea issue, I expressed my grave concern over the situation and opposed any unilateral attempt to change the status quo by force. Rule of the law is at stake. In this regard, I emphasized the importance of the 2016 arbitral award as well as non-militarization of disputed features. I am pleased to find a number of my counterparts who share similar views. These views are reflected in the joint communique that ASEAN 10 issued yesterday. Furthermore, I also urge the EAS participants to deliver a robust message that East Asia must halt the trend of looming protectionism and uphold a free and fair economic order. Only by doing so, East Asia could continue to outshine the rest of the world. In this regard, engagement of the United States is indispensable as East Asia pursues peace and prosperity. In addition to the series of multilateral meetings, I had bilateral meetings with the ministers of the Philippines, the US, Russia, China, and the Republic of Korea. I also attended Japan, US, Australia, as well as Japan, US, Republic of Korea meetings. These meetings have provided me with a great opportunity to start personal and professional relations with my fellow ministers. I am looking forward to working closely with them for the peace and prosperity in the region and beyond. Now I'd like to take some questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister Kono. Now we move on to the Q&A session. If you have a question, please raise your hand and wait until I acknowledge you. Then when you are handed a microphone, identify yourself with your name and affiliation. Please kindly be advised to make your question brief due to the time constraints. Thank you. Please. Sure.
Konbawa. My name is Roy Mabasa from Manila Bulletin. This afternoon, Japan, Australia, and the United States called on China and the Philippines to abide by the arbitral ruling. I would like to know, because this is kind of a raises curiosity among us, because the Philippines is a petitioner, the sole and main petitioner in this case. Why do you have to include the Philippines in your statement?
マニラブリティンの例と申します。今日の午後、日豪米は中国およびフィリピンに対して仲裁判断を遵守するように呼びかけました。好奇心から聞くんですけれども、今回の仲裁に対してフィリピンが唯一の原告であります。なのになぜ声明の中に我が国フィリピンを含めなくてはならなかったんでしょうか。
この判断というのは、当然に両国当事者を拘束する最終的な法的な判断ですから、中国とフィリピンと両方拘束することになります。そうしたことで、これが今後の海洋法に関するさまざまな判断のベースがこういう形で積み上がっていくことになるわけですから、2つの国にこの判断しっかり守っていってくださいということをお願いしたつもりです。
The arbitral award naturally binds both the relevant countries, namely China and the Philippines. It is finally and legally binding the award, which means that both countries are to be bound by the arbitral award. Going forward, this award decision will be the basis for the various award decisions to come under the UNCLOS. Thus, we would like to see both countries to firmly follow and abide by the arbitral award.
Next question, please. Microphone, please.
My name is Cecil Morales, sir, of the French News Agency. In what way is the Philippines not abiding by the arbitral ruling?
エージェンシーのものであります。どういう形でフィリピンが仲裁判定を守っていないとお考えなんでしょうか。
フィリピンが守っていないのとは思っていません。判決が出たので、それを守ってくださいと申し上げているだけです。それが積み重なってこの海洋法のさまざまな基礎になっていくものだから申し上げているわけです。フィリピンが違反をしているとかしてないとかということを申し上げているつもりはございません。
It is not that we are saying that Philippines is not abiding by the arbitral award, because the arbitral award the last year will be forming the foundation for the arbitral awards to be accumulated under the UNCLOS going forward. And that is the reason why it is stated that the arbitral award should be abided by. We are not saying at all whether Philippines is in violation or not in violation of the arbitral award.
Next question, please.
Good evening. How did North Korea... I'm Ian Tapao from Vera Files. How did North Korea address your statement of reaffirming your commitment to strong autonomous sanction measures on North Korea and on the nuclear weapon program and ballistic missile activities during the ARF?
ARF の会議中に、今回のさまざまな国連安保理決議の中の制裁措置に関しては、必ずそれを履行するというコミットに対する呼びかけに対して、また核開発弾道ミサイルに対する措置に対して、北朝鮮は、大臣からの呼びかけおよび声明に対してどのように北朝鮮は対応されたでしょうか。
ARF での発言の順番は私より前に北朝鮮が発言をされましたので、私の呼びかけに対して何か答えたということでは残念ながらありませんでした。
Now, as the order of the speaking at the RRF, the representative of North Korea has spoken before I have spoken myself. So, unfortunately, it was not that North Korea has responded to my statement. That was not the case at all.
Next question, please.
I'm Mastomo from Saishin Media. My question is related to the ASEAN Plus 3 meetings. Apparently, Japan and China are divided over the means to further develop regional financial safety net. Japan is keen to raise the IMF, the linked portion of CMIM, Chiangmai Initiative, and China is more reluctant. Could you tell us what kind of discussions were made on regional financial cooperation during the meetings and any concrete outcomes? Thank you.
大使メディアのマストと申します。ASEAN プラス3の会議についての質問であります。域内の金融セーフティーネットの整備に関して明らかに日中間でその手段については意見の食い違いがあると思われて、日本におきましては IMF のリンクトポーションをさらに拡大する、その一環としてチェンマイイニシアティブのマルチ化を拡大するということを主張しておりますけれども、そういった意見に対して中国は躊躇しております。そういった中で ASEAN プラス3におきましては、域内の金融協力に関してどのような議論が行われて、どのような具体的な成果が生み出されたんでしょうか。
この場で、他の国の外務大臣の発言についてちょっとコメントをするのは差し控えた方がいいのかなというふうに思っておりますが、ASEAN プラス3の中では最近の経済金融市場の動向を踏まえて ASEAN プラス3で緊密に協力をしていこうという確認をいたしました。手法は仮に違うとしても、そこは緊密な連携をこの13カ国でやっていけると思っております。
Maybe I should refrain from making any comments on the statement made by the foreign minister from another country at this occasion. Now, at the ASEAN Plus 3 meeting, based upon the recent trends in the economic and the financial markets of the world, we have confirmed that under the APT, the member countries should closely work with each other. So even though the means to be gone by may be different, the 13 countries of the APT will be working closely together.
少し付け加えますと、本来この ASEAN プラス3、経済面を中心に議論をする場なのかもしれませんが、私の方からは特に北朝鮮と南シナ海のことについて、この ASEAN プラス3でも、同じようなことを発言させていただきました。
Now, if I may make an additional comment, perhaps primarily at the APT meetings, perhaps we should concentrate on economic matters. That may be the purpose of the forum. But that said, however, I have in particular taken up the issues of North Korea as well as the South China Sea at the ASEAN Plus the 3 the meeting as well. I have made the same statements I have made at the other meetings.
Ma'am? Ma'am?
Hi, Arisa Saludo, Fuji TV Manila. Sir, may I ask, during the ASEAN Regional Forum, what were the issues lengthily and strongly discussed? And is it basically the South China Sea issue or the DPRK issue and nuclearization? Thank you.
マニラのテレビのものです。アジアリージョナルフォーラム ARF におきまして、特に、かなり時間を割いて、そして、かなり、激しく議論されたテーマは何でしょうか。南シナ海でありましょうか、あるいは北朝鮮の核開発でありましょうか。
北朝鮮の問題についてはいくつかの国がかなり長い時間をとって話をされていました。南シナ海の問題についても我々と同じ立場の国、あるいは少し違う立場の国、それぞれかなり白熱した発言をされておりました。
On the issue of the North Korea, several the countries that have actually made lengthy statements. And on the issue of South China Sea as well, those countries who are in a same position as ours, as well as the countries that are having slightly different position, we had the very heated discussion.
Next question. Sir?
Good evening, sir. I'm Jim Gomez. I'm with the Associated Press. Sir, I'd like to ask, how will Japan, the US, and Australia make sure that provocative behavior in the South China Sea is stopped, that freedom of navigation and overflight remain unhampered, and that the proposed code of conduct, ends up as legally binding? How far will you go?
AP 通信のものであります。日米豪の間で南シナ海における挑発行為を食い止めることをどのように担保するということで議論合意されたんでしょうか。また航行及び上空飛行の自由が阻害されないように提案されている行動規範が法的拘束力を持つようにとどこまで突っ込んだ話し合いが行われたんでしょうか。
COC については国際法に基づいた法的拘束力のあるものがなるべく早期に採択されるべきだということで一致をいたしました。またアメリカのフリーダム・オブ・ナビゲーション・オペレーションについて日本は支持するということを申し上げました。
On the COC, we have agreed that as quickly as possible, the legally binding the COC based upon international law should be adopted. And Japan has also stated that we support the FONOPS, Freedom of Navigation Operations, as done by the United States.
Next question, ma'am.
I'm Ellen Tordesillas of Vera Files. You mentioned earlier that the North Korean foreign minister spoke ahead of you, but when you were speaking about the North Korea and expressing your concerns about their nuclear program, was the North Korean minister there? And was there any chance for you to speak with him?
ベリファスのものです。先ほど大臣は、 大臣のご発言の前に北朝鮮の外務大臣が発言されたとおっしゃいましたけれども、河野大臣がご発言されて、その中で北朝鮮の行為に関して懸念についてご発言されたときに、その場に北朝鮮の外務大臣はいらしたんでしょうか。どういう反応だったですか。
ちょうど私の位置から北朝鮮の代表の席は対角線上でした。座ってらっしゃったのが外務大臣だったかどうか、ちょっと私の席からは、確認はできませんでしたが、私はどちらかというと、そちらの方を向いて、発言をしておりました。座ってたのが外務大臣だったかどうか、ちょっと距離があったんで、よく見えませんでした。
Now, for the position of the North Korean representative was exactly in a diagonal the position opposite the seat. But I was not really able to see whether it was the foreign minister himself of North Korea who was seated there or not, because there was a distance from the seat to his seat. So I was not able to see who was actually seated there. But I have actually, while making my statement, to have directed towards the North Korean the delegation the seat.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, due to the time constraints, I would like to make the next question the last. Sir, over there.
Hi, my name is Jake with the Wall Street Journal. It seems to me that countries at the multilateral meetings have disagreed on how to best constrain North Korea, with, say, the US and Japan favoring isolation and other countries such as ASEAN favoring more diplomatic engagement. Is that a fair characterization? And if it is, could that be a problem in any way for the implementation of sanctions or for ultimately constraining North Korea's nuclear program? Thank you.
ウォール・ストリート・ジャーナルのジェイクと申します。さまざまな多国間会議の場におきまして、どのようにして北朝鮮をこれから制約していくか、抑止していくかということに関して、各国の意見に不一致が見られるようで、一方において日米が制裁を科すことを主張している中、ASEAN 諸国はもっと外交的な手段で行っていこうという意見をお持ちのようであります。今述べたような描写で正しいと大臣も思われるでしょうか。もしそうであるとしたならば、そういったような意見の不一致があるということで、制裁履行に関して何らかの問題が発生するでしょうか。北朝鮮の抑止ということでは問題があるでしょうか。
今日のマルチラテラルの場で何度もこの北朝鮮の問題について申し上げましたが、会合の前後にいろいろな外務大臣と立ち話をいたしましたけれども、その描写は正しくないと思います。ほぼすべての国が採択された国連決議がきちんと厳密に履行されるべきだというふうに考えていらっしゃると思います。さらにその上でどうするかということについてはいろんな意見があるかもしれませんけれども、少なくともこれまでの最新のものを含めた国連の決議案についてはきちんと履行されるべきであるということがほぼコンセンサスだったと言って間違いないと私は思っております。
Now, what I myself have stated on the issue of the North Korea repeatedly at the various multilateral fora myself, and before as well as after those meetings, I have met and chatted with the various foreign ministers from different countries while standing. And as I have done so, what you have just described is not correct. almost all the countries that have been telling me that the United Nations Security Council resolution that has been adopted should be strictly implemented. But having said so, also beyond that, what needs to be done? There could be various different views on that, but at least on all the relevant United Nations Security Council resolutions, including the most recent one, I believe there was almost a consensus amongst the ministers that those resolutions must be firmly and solidly be implemented. That is my impression.
So thank you very much. That concludes the press conference by Prime Minister Kono. So thank you, Minister Kono.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And please remain seated until Minister Kono leaves this room. Thank you very much.